Okay, so I'll simplify these. First one, all of this bit is to the power of a half. So for A, it's 4 to the power of a half, followed by P to the quarter to the power of a half, followed by Q to the minus 3 to the power of a half. You don't really need to put that step in, but you can if you want to. Now 4 to the power of a half means the square root of 4, which is 2. And you've got a power of a power here, so that's just the same as saying what's A squared cubed, and that would be A to the power of 6. So you times the powers together, so A squared times A squared times A squared. So times powers together, that would be P to the 8th. And exactly the same thing here, that would be Q to the minus 3 over 2. And that does the first one. B. Right, this one here, you've got the 5b all to the power of minus 1 means 1 over 5b. And I need to times that by 1 over the bottom bit. 8b to the 6 to the 3rd. Like so. Because if it had been 5b without being to the minus 1, it would have been 5b times by 1 over this. But it's to the minus 1, so it's 1 over. Times the bottoms together, so that would be 1 over 5b times by 1 over, I'm going to do the same thing as I did on part A, that would be 8 to the power of a third, that's the cube root of 8, and b to the 6 to the power of 1/3, and that's 1 over 5b times by 1 over cube root of 8 is 2. And you've got power times a power, and the power of a power, so you times the indices, so 6 times a third is 2, so that'd be b squared. And I'm doing this and times the tops together, times in fractions. 1 times 1 is 1, and 5 times 2 is 10, and b times b squared is b cubed. And I can make that 1 over 10, and 1 over b cubed is b to the minus 3. That's that bit. I'll do C up here, and do exactly the same thing as I had before. So I'm going to have 2 to the power of a quarter times x to the 6 to the power of a quarter, and y to the 8 to the power of a quarter, and times it by 8 to the power of a quarter, and x to the power of minus 2 to the power of 1/4. All this times together, so I can just multiply out, and I've got 2 to the power of a quarter and 8 to the power of a quarter, so I can combine those two to get 16 to the power of 1/4, and then that will be x to the 6 over 4, which is 3 over 2, y power times power of a power, so times them, that'll be y squared. I've done that, and then that'll be x to the minus 2 over 4, which is half. Fourth root of 16 is 2. Power times power, add the indices, and that'll be x to the power of 1, so just x, and y squared. Well, that's simplified quite well. And finally D, I'm just going to do is power times a power, power of a power times power, so that'll be m to the 2/3 times n, 2 times a half, times, that'll be power of a power, so times them, so that'll be 4/6, which is 2/3, so m to the power of 2/3, and then n to the power of 4/3, yeah, and then times m to the minus 2 and n to the minus 2. All times together, I just have to add the indices now. So for the m's, 2/3 plus 2/3 is 4/3, take away 2 is minus 2/3, and I've got n there, that's to power 1. That's about 2 1/3. Take away 2 is just n to a third. And that's that done.